Hey, welcome to Crazy Gamers Model Making. On this video, we're building a JagdTiger. This is part of a build series where I am showing basically all the building procedures of building a JagdTiger. I'm using this book, Building Trumpeter's 1/16th Scale JagdTiger, to get some inspiration on some corrections that need to be made and some added bonus and detail on the model. This is an intro video. I just want to let you know, if you like the video, hit that like button. If you want to see the whole series, subscribe. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button and leave a comment below. I also want to mention leaving comments and engage, sharing the video, liking the videos will get you your name in an entry to win prizes during this build. There's also on other videos, there's prizes to be won by participating in the comments and things like that. I also, I'm currently unable to work due to medical issues, and I have set up a Patreon page. If you want to help me in any way, it's not necessary. If I get some people on there, I'll be doing giveaways of miniatures and kits and things like that to those who are members. I would like to thank everybody who's been supporting me, all my subscribers. But let's get this video started. Thank you. Hey guys, we're back for another JagdTiger build along series here. We're building the engine. We went over the A sprue and the H sprue yesterday, and then flipping through here, we realized we needed a couple other sprues. So we're gonna start off with showing you those sprues. We're gonna show you the B sprue now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the B sprue right on top. Let's take a look at this. Looks like it has our rear exhaust plate in it. Let's see what this is here. This one actually says on it 1/16th King Tiger also, and it looks like rear armor. So it looks like the rear armor plate for the real armor thickness. As you can see here, we have just different bits and bobs. Different things for the engine. These definitely look like mostly engine components. I'm not sure what that is, but that looks pretty cool, and it's molded really well. Nice sprue gates on that. And then you got your little knobs and stuff we'll be using in this build. Some hoses. I'm going to doctor those up a little bit. On the other side, sprue marks that have to be sanded down before you put the parts together. That's pretty much common in all this. I'm not sure how many gaps there's going to be, but so far they haven't let me down on gaps. There's definitely been some. So that is the B sprue. Now, the next one that it calls for, this one's got to be, and then now it calls for the D sprue. And this one I believe has 2 sprues in it, but if you're making like 2, I believe these are the carburetors. We're making 2 of those, so let's take a look at the D sprue. And look, we got a bag of D sprues, and there's 2 of them. Yay! So we're just going to take out one. Let's see what we got here. Find those carburetors. Okay, looks like we got, 28 and 29 of these carburetor heads, and they're getting built around 8 and 9, these pieces right here. So you'll get 2 off of this sprue and 2 off of the other sprue. We'll go ahead and take a look at the detail in that box right there. That fan is beautiful. That fan is nice. Hopefully it comes out and cleans up well. Slide molded. I think it's an MG42. Nasty seam on it right there, but that's gonna be easy cleaned up, and that'll be a glue joint. Not quite sure what a lot of this is. It looks like these are the pistons for the inner hull that actually we have to build covers for. This looks like floor decking, maybe. I'm not sure. But this is the D sprue. Put that back. Oh, and just for the record, it says King Tiger. And no, I have not come across a JagdTiger sprue yet. So, and I'm going through them just as you guys are. So, that takes us through to the D sprue. Now we need to do the S and T sprue, which is what I believe is our vinyl rubber ABS pieces, which is in this bag that I labeled ST in polycaps. So, at first I thought these two rubberized sprues were the same, but they are not. So, this one is S, and it also says 1/16 King Tiger. So, you get this sprue in the King Tiger kit. And it is basically hoses. And what will we be using? We will be using S3. Where's S3? That looks like this one right here. That would be this one right here, and it is flexible and rubbery. I like that. I don't know if it'll glue. I'm going to do a sample with some sprue. Actually, I'm going to cut this piece off right here. Sorry for reaching. I'm going to cut this little piece off right here. And we're going to do an experiment. We're going to do it right now. We're going to try to glue this together. I'm going to cut that in half. We're going to see if this stuff glues with Tamiya. We're going to let that sit for a minute. Okay, so we're going to need 3 off of here, and then we need, looks like 14 and 15, which is these two in the corner. So that's the S sprue. Now we have the T sprue for some itty bitty pieces, which are T8, which are right here. They look like little rubber standoffs. It's hard to see. But basically this is your T sprue. You got hoses and things like that. And just for the record, it does say 1/16 King Tiger. So, like I said, I haven't come across a JagdTiger yet. I also haven't seen all the sprues, and I haven't looked on all the sprues. But so far, what we have built have all been the same as what's in the King Tiger. Now, these are a little bit more difficult to get back in here. And don't forget, we have our little experiment running right there. Hopefully it's on camera. Okay, and I believe we need one more sprue for the engine on the next page here, which is, we got the H sprue back, which we've already looked at that. We have the T, JJ, that's what we need, the JJ sprue. Now, I personally have a feeling that this one may say JagdTiger, but I'm not sure. So we're going to take a look. I have the JJ sprue, and again, I have not looked at it, so it says JJ, and it says JJ on my bag. I've just rebagged all these. I didn't have time to look at them all. So you're having a detailed look this first time I am, other than the ones I looked at in the unboxing. So let's check it, because anticipation. It says JagdTiger! 1/16 JagdTiger. So this is a sprue specific to the JagdTiger. Look at that, the first one I've seen. So, as you can see, nice parts. Quality-wise, I mean, they're a little dirty looking, but quality-wise, like the sprue gates on the back look nicer. I want to just do a comparison real quick with this D sprue, because it's right here, of these two, and see if you guys notice anything different. These are the two different sprues. This is the JagdTiger sprue, and this is an older JagdTiger sprue. There's a lot more flash on this to clean up, and this JagdTiger sprue is cleaner. And also, if you look at the back, if you look at the ejector pin markers on this JagdTiger sprue here, compared to the nasty, ripped up ones that have to be sanded down and cut off on the JagdTiger sprue, you can tell that this was a newer tool when they manufactured these. These JagdTiger sprues are not. These JagdTiger sprues are nice, but I mean, I'm not knocking the kit. I mean, it does have some seams to fill, but I'm enjoying putting it together. I'm really getting into it. I've been doing a lot of research. I just noticed that this ball joint here is slide molded also, along with that gun barrel. I had noticed that. And there's two of those. And there's also two of those guns. So there's a lot of guns, like, in this. And I've only seen the one on the back end. So I might put one stashed as a backup inside the JagdTiger. I know in the beginning they didn't have machine guns on them, and that didn't work well for them. Okay, so anyways, back to the JJ sprue. I'm sorry I got sidetracked with the different sprue types there. Looks like we got some little handle pieces here that are probably going to have to be remade out of wire because I'll lose them. The same with this. Whatever I can imagine that will be, that I will break off, lose trying to clean, break trying to clean, things like that. Here's some piping conduit, probably the same thing. The hooks look nice. The lifting hooks, they look nice, so I can worry about that. Another grab bar I'm going to replace. Like this little antenna right here, I mean, that's just asking for trouble. If I put a piece of piano wire in place of that, you can hit it, bang it, and the piano wire flexes a little bit, and then you don't have any worry about it breaking, and then having to fix it, and then having to touch up your paint job. The piano wire flexes, and I notice if you put the Vallejo primer on it, it kind of flexes with the piano wire a little bit. Let's put a little longer antenna on it, maybe get a little more range out of it. Like I said, this is going to be the last model made. It's going to be number 89, still on the production line. It was going to be rolling off the production line, loaded and ready to go. I'm doing a diorama with it. Hopefully, either that, or I'll do a diorama with my 1/35th scale. I got to see what kind of figures I can get. So, this is the JJ sprue, and as I said before, there are two of those sprues, and they are JagdTiger sprues. We just found that out live on camera. We find it out. Another thing I didn't point out on this D sprue is we're using these pieces. It looks like these pieces. Where's that D23 at? This is D. Okay, D6. Yeah, D6 and 17 are getting glued together to go on the sides of the air filter, which are these two. These two make up the air filter, 22 and 21, which is this one. Which it looks like we're going to have to sand some ejector pins off of that. And then there's this, which goes on either side. And then that gives you some spacing here. Sorry for bumping the camera. Gives you some spacing there. Weird looking thing, I don't know. I guess that's for air float purposes. Oh, that's what those little clips are for. Ooh. They go onto the air filter so you can pull it out. Air cleaner, air filter. I'm not sure what you want to call it. I'm not an automotive or tank engine expert. I just go by what I read. With a little bit of knowledge I know. Which is not much, let me tell you. I constantly look for new information, and then I forget information. It's a long, drawn-out process. Alright, so let us go back to the beginning of our engine, and I am more prepared for this video. So, I have cut out all the parts up to B here, and we're going to do some assembling and checking the joints on these. So we're going to start off with this A14 and A24, and as you all know, I am a huge fan of my labeling mat. I know I talk about it in almost every video. It deserves to be talked about in every video. You get the Mr. Hobby paint trays. They're magnetic, and you get one of these magnetic project pads. It doesn't even have to be an iFixit one. Just get a magnetic pad with squares on it, and then you can label all your parts. You know, the parts shake and move in it, but the trays don't move. That's the part that's good. You can have little bins that are labeled. You can do whatever. This is what I do, and I find that it works. So I cleaned up all these parts. Some of the seams I left for when they're joined together, that they're gonna need to be cleaned up together. So here is a 14, and here is a 13, and we're gonna take a look at that. And it looks like we got some gappies. Okay, so we're going to take a look and we're going to glue this together. And then we got a little bit of flash in there. So I'm going to take my quick set here, live on camera. It's faster. Put a little dot in there. Little dot down there. I would rather, if I can fill it from the inside, I would much rather do that than fill it from the outside. And I need to get a little brush here, guys. Give me a second. In fact, I'm going to use a different glue. I'm going to use this FlexiFile Professional plastic weld. Normally for my touch and flow, but I can't stand that touch and flow. I can never seem to get it to work. So I just use a brush with it. Hopefully this brush is okay. Okay, so I got that in there. Now I have this little section right here I need to do. So what I'm going to do is, I want to clamp it first because I don't want it to ooze out if I put the glue in and then clamp it. And you can already see it's going to need a little bit of filler work on it. I'm just using this kind of like chip clip kind of thing. And I don't like that one. I need just more of these binder clips here. Yeah, that's what I like. See, I got that little binder clip. And I can dip in my glue here. Put a little bit of glue in there. There. So, let that sit for a second. Immediately close up this glue because it is a horrible bottle and you will knock that over. I have a stand for the glue that I'm going to bring out. This is designed for the touch and flow. It helps with the knocking over of things, and you can put your brush on it. So, I'm just going to put that right there, just in case I want to use it again. So, now, we are still on this step. We're going to mark off that we did 13 and 14 in case we have to cut this video short. And then now we're going to look at doing A24, which I have right here all cleaned up. Take a look. I just want to hit this. I believe this is like 1800 grit. It's called Micro Mesh. They're good files for knocking off little burrs and stuff. Oh, I think I showed you the Tamiya dusting brush. This thing is nice, especially before you airbrush, just to take off the dust of your model if it's been a little bit since you handled it. Now this has a notch in it. Oh wow, this this basically looks like it goes like this onto there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it on like so. The seam's going to need a little bit of work. And also, this is the one that gets that decal. I'm going to come back with my Tamiya extra thin, and I'm just going to dab a little bit in that joint. I'm using the side of the brush so, it doesn't run down. And of course, an alarm's going to go off. Sad part is that an alarm is for me to say, hey, you need to wake up. And I've been up for hours. It's a normal thing. Up at 2, 3 in the morning. But it allows me to get these videos done uninterrupted. So that's glued on there. We're going to need to do, this is glued. We're going to need to do a little seam filling on this. And some cleanup. But that's basically that. And then we're going to mark off this last part. Now, what I do is, when I have a separate section like this that I'm not going to be gluing on right away, I will look at one of these numbers, the first number I have on the tray, A24, and I'll put that in that bin, and I'll take down the other 2 bins. So I know I've used those parts and nothing's missing from those. Now, I've taken them off the tray. I've taken those 2 bins off the tray. Left the numbers there. I'll erase the numbers later and whatnot. So now, this needs to be seam filled and decals put on it. I might be able to, let's see if we put it on 38, like so. It goes down here. It's going to go on like so. That's a crazy fit. It doesn't fit. I might be able to slide that decal on there. I'm not going to glue it on there in this video because I have to do some seam fills. Leave a comment below if you guys think I could glue this on, and then when I paint it, just put some gloss on there and float that decal on. You guys let me know that and see if you think I can do that. And if you think it's possible to do that, I will give it a go. Let's see here. The seam on this isn't as bad as I thought, just a little bit around here. So I'm going to get my Mr. Surfacer 500. Give it a shake. I know some people don't shake their Mr. Surfacer. I don't understand. If I'm not supposed to shake it, please tell me. Don't shake your Mr. Surfacer, but I'm not aware of that. You're not supposed to do that. So I'm just going to use this little brush and this in here is just Mr. Color Leveling Thinner. I just use it until it evaporates, and then I add some more so to clean off that glue that's on there. That glue didn't ruin that brush. Alright, so I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to need some eyes for this. And I'm hoping I can keep it on camera, and you can see it also. Yeah, you can see that cool little Mr. I'm just going to put it on there like so. And I bumped the camera with the brush, I'm sorry. It's one of my cheap rigged camera lights. One day I'll show you my setup and you can see how crazy it is. I have a setup here that would make the OCD people go nuts. It is a disaster and it is full of stuff. Some stuff I use, some stuff I don't, but I don't really have any other place to put it. I'm going to cover and fill that right there. And I'm touching it, that's fun. So I'm just going to come back where I touched and add a little bit sunk in there. And that's sunk in around there. If you need to thin this a little bit, you could add some thinner to it and make it a little bit thinner, and then it's about like 1,000. But I like the 500 for this, and then you can clean it up. So I'm just gonna have to put it in a clip here. So I'm just putting it in a clip and gonna just sit it in one of my empty medicine bottles that I use to store things. I have put foam, started putting foam down in the bottom of my medicine bottles to stick things in. And I'm going to see how that works out. I don't know if it's going to work. I put it in my sanding one that I keep my scalpel in. I'm hoping it keeps my scalpel from dulling. Because I put my scalpel in face first, or tip down. Face first, that's funny. So, let us take a moment to look at our experiment of gluing the rubber pieces. Yeah, the Tamiya extra thin, it glues it together. I mean, I can stretch it and pull it apart, but if I would have spent more time on that seam, it glued it together no problem. So I don't have any problem gluing that rubber stuff together. I don't plan on ripping it apart, but it's good to know that I guess you can if you need to. Okay, so now it would say to put that last piece onto 38, which I have cut off and cleaned up. But we're going to hold off on that, and then we're going to move to A21 and A20, which appears to be some sort of starter. I believe the last was a possible solenoid, I'm not sure. There's more things on this engine than I know. So we're going to stick these together like so. And I'm going to put an entire box of clamps. But what I need one, I can't find one. So I'm going to go like that with that one. Maybe like... See, I already found something. See this right here? This little piece right here? This was bent when I before I even cut the part out. This little piece was bent right there, and it's about ready to break off. It'll probably break off before the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now. And I am going to place it in my little bit of spare JagdTiger parts. So I have it for later, and I'm going to come in here with a blue highlighter, and I am going to highlight this section right here that I need to make, and circle this part, which is also this part. And that's going to tell me when I come back to here, I'm going to have to make some kind of modification with wire. I have to make some kind of modification to that to fix that, because I don't want to leave it like that. So we got, let me check this seam here. See, it wants to join, just not as well as I would like it to. Put that on there like that. That on there like that. We'll come in with the extra thin with the side of the brush right along the seam there. Right along the seam. Right along the seam there. Brushing a lot of the extra thin off of there too. There might be a jump in the camera just now because it switched over. For some reason it only allows me to do 30 minutes of video at a time. But that looks like it's closing up. Let's get a little bit in this area right here. And we'll let that sit. So we'll get our yellow out. And we'll mark that and that. And as I put them on, I shade the unit. So we're going to do A29 and A28. I'm sorry that there's an inconsistency in the videos being long and short and long and short. Some days I have the ability to push on and do a longer video, and then some days I don't have it in me for a long video. But I just try to get some content out, whether it's a review of our product or some form of update. So I hope that's okay with everyone. And by the way, if you like these videos and stuff, hit that like button. If you have a problem with what I'm doing, you don't like what I'm doing, hit the dislike button and tell me why in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions. I try to respond to every comment. It may not be the exact second or right away when it's posted, but I try to respond, with some kind of reaction or a response. I would like to thank Love Minis, because he has been participating in this build series in the comments, and with all the comments on the videos and support for the video. I'd like to thank him for that. So far, he's running in the lead for the giveaway. As I said, there will be a giveaway for those who participate in the video. Every video you like, subscribe, share, post comments. Let me know in the comments that you've done it. If you see it on Facebook, like it on Facebook. Share it on Facebook. Let me know you shared it, and you'll get one entry into the drawing for the giveaway. Right now, Love Minis and a couple other people, but Love Minis is cranking it out. He's in there. He's got a lot of entries in there. And the first giveaway, once this engine and transmission are done, and weathered and painted, I'm going to do a small giveaway, and then after the entire lower hall's done, I'm going to do a model maker's tools grab bag with all kinds of cool stuff that I like to use. And there's also a different thing going to be a MIG giveaway for a MIG product, because I'm a big fan of their products. And then at the end of this JagdTiger build, there is going to be a giveaway of a Takom kit with a full interior. So, it was originally going to be a JagdPanther, but the hobby store that I'm doing this JagdTiger for, they don't want to commit to a kit yet, but it will be a Takom kit with a full interior, and it will be a German World War II vehicle. Tank, I would assume, but it will have a full interior. So I'm sorry if I said the JagdTiger in the beginning, but oh, that's weird. Okay, so we have this glued together. That's pretty much stuck. Just a little bit of sanding on this one. One little bitty spot to fill. Two little spots to fill. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick with my Mr. Surfacer. I'm going to use 1000 on this one because they're tiny. Close up this glue. Get my little brush cleaner out. Okay. And just to let you know, I switched from Vallejo surface primers to these Mr. Surfacer, so I'll be talking about that. Also, coming up is a update for the JagdPanther, where we're going to do some weathering. I got the top section I got the top section all painted, all the pieces on it, all the brackets for the tools on it. I decided some of the tools are going to be left off because it's going to be an abandoned, stripped vehicle. So some of the tools are going to be left off of that. But we'll get to, man, that primer surfacer, ooh, that stinks. That's something. So we filled those two little holes. And then, you know, that'll dry, and I'll probably hit those with a Q-tip. There's another alarm. And that should be it for the alarms in this video. Okay, so we got that, and we are not putting it on yet. So, now we have this A39, A28, and A41 all coming together. So now we have to be careful how we do this, because we got to make sure we have it going the right way, because we don't have these pieces on there. So it's going to sit like this. It's going to sit like that. And then we have to put on 41, which is here like this. I just want to hold that together for a second, because looking at the way that this goes, wow, it's tricky. These pieces that we just built that would go on this side need to plug into these. So let's see if that's able to be done after the fact. Yeah, it looks like it is. So we're good to put this together. It looks like it's going to be a little tricky here. Let's try, because the next step is A40. Let's see what happens when we do them all on. Well, that's not any better. If I build it to where there's minimum gaps, I guess that's my best option. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the quick set. I'm sorry, that was off camera. I have this gap fine here, and a piece glues on there, so I'm going to just glue that right there. This is going to be a tricky one. So I glued that there. Now I'm going to try to move this without breaking it here. Now, so I glued that. Now I'm going to try to that wasn't the piece I thought it was. So let's try. There's just hardly any locating on this at all. And what I glued there was not a seam, by the way. That was my bad. There was not a seam there. So that was funny. So, okay, I got this located on that. Glue in some extra thin. Hold it down so gravity takes a bite out of it. Oh, I don't want to get my thumbprint in it. That appears to be in position. I'm going to turn this fan on low and dry this. Hopefully that fan noise isn't going to bother you. Just want to let that dry faster. Okay, so that is in there like that. And then now let us see here about putting this on right there. So I want to glue this top joint here to make sure that that's smooth. Make sure that's lined up correctly, and then that these over here are lined up. So there's that, we're gluing in there, and I just noticed some ejector pins, but they're going to be hidden. They're going to be hidden behind those starter alternator pieces. Now I'm going to come in on the inside with some of this other glue here with a brush, because I can't get in there with the extra thin brush along the bottom here, and then I'm going to do the front part of this seam on the inside there. And that Flexifile plastic weld, that is pretty thin stuff. It's used for the touch and flow, so it is pretty slow. It's pretty thin, so it sucks in there like the extra thin does. I wouldn't call that it's better than the extra thin, but it does flow in there, and it is a hot glue. I do like it on occasion. Well, this is gluing up better than the transmission already, let me tell you. So now we need to put on this section. I want the bottom to line up here. Looks like we have an ejector pin we need to take care of. A little ejector pin right there. I'm going to use a new hard stick that I got from the beauty supply store that's super flat, and it's great for that kind of thing. Just hit it with this. We're going to knock stuff over, drop things, you know, it's just one of my videos, people. Stuff's going to happen. I'm going to spill glue at one point, and that's going to be fun. Be on camera. Everybody will love that. So I'm just going to glue this bottom in here. Now this bottom has a bottom panel that goes on it. I'll show you that in a minute. That hides the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to come in with the brush again. And I'm going to brush on the inside here. Some places I can't reach. I much rather like gluing on the inside than I do on the outside. Alright. A little bit of extra thin in there. A little bit extra thin there. Can't quite reach this section with the brush, so a little extra thin there. I hope this is not too boring and showing up on camera for everybody, but this is, you know, a build along to guys show you guys how it's built. I mean, this is basically, I'm building it. You know, I try to do very minimal work off camera, just cutting out parts, cleaning them up. You know, if there's a lot of filler, I'll sand the filler off there. Airbrush work I have to do off camera. Unless I do it in a separate video, I possibly could set up something in my booth. But, you know, it's not something I can really do at the moment. If you want to see airbrushing, just let me know and I'll try. I'll give it a shot. I'm not an airbrush expert. I've only ever used an airbrush for priming and base coating. So I am by far not an airbrushing expert. Wow, this is popping this apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand a smidge off of this side right here. It's also a little tight right there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some brass clamps on it. And this is what I say when I look for clamps. This is my clamp box. It is... I normally have stuff clipped to the side, but as I use them, I just throw them back in here. And things like that. So... 3 of those. Alright, so let us do that. So one there. And by the way, these are fantastic. I've had them for a while, and I never used them. I had bought them for a Warhammer project, and they didn't fit. And at that point, I was just irritated, so I just put them in a box. And when I was building this model, I was like, well, these brass clamps would be, or actually it was the JagdPanther. I was like, these brass clamps would be perfect for what I need. And they have not let me down. Just put like light pressure. Wow, this thing is just a horrible fit. Look at the gaps on this. This is a nasty fit. I can't figure out why. This I hate to say this, guys, this may be the end of this video until I figure this out. It'll be the next update on putting this top piece on, because I can't figure out why. For one, the gaps, I mean... Yeah, I'm going to let this dry. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this dry right here. Clamp this back on here. And I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to call it on this video. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And there'll be, I post a video at least, I try to post a video every day. Whether it's an update, whether it's on another model, or whether it's on the JagdTiger. I at least try to make sure there's going to be 3 JagdTiger videos a week, depending on holidays and whether or not I have my granddaughter or not. Because then it would be very slim on videos. Because it's my granddaughter and I love my grandbabies. So, that is that. And I love my children. I want to sound like I don't love them either. But I'm a baby person. So, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. For Crazy Gamer Games, I am the Crazy Gamer. You guys have a great day.